I'm going to tell you guys a true story that traumatized me when I was little. This traumatized me to the point where I didn't even like this hero anymore. Well, I didn't say I hate him, I just couldn't look at him the same way. And I was too scared to get out of bed to go use the restroom. We'll get into that later. What is the hero I'm referring to? The superhero that I'm referring to, that is my all-time favorite superhero, is Spider-Man. But not just your friendly neighborhood Spider-Man. I'm referring to Zombie Spider-Man. Yes, Zombie Spider-Man. You know, the half hero, half zombie that likes to eat and consume flesh, even though he's the only one that regrets doing it, which is why he is one of my favorite iterations of Spider-Man. He still traumatized me when I was little. So here's the true story how Zombie Spider-Man traumatized me. So here I am sitting in front of the computer desk at the age of 10, 11, I don't remember. And I'm going through watching videos of Spider-Man until I accidentally come across a video, Zombie Spider-Man is awesome. Well, actually, I was sitting at the dinner table at the time, if memory serves me correctly. I was in front of a laptop watching videos of Spider-Man because, you know, Spider-Man's cool and all. And I happened to come across a video that said Zombie Spider-Man is awesome. I couldn't say what the word said originally. I had trouble reading things around that time, so I needed my older brother to help me tell me what that word says, and he said zombie. Okay, I know what a zombie is, so I checked the video out. There he is. There's a comic book of him. In the comic book, he's sticking to a wall. His suit looks filthy and weathered. He jumps off a building and he's falling, and he starts shooting webs, but instead of being the white silky webs, it was red and blue. I didn't know at the time why the webbing was red and blue at the time, until later down the line, as I read this comic more and more, I realized that it was his veins and arteries. So there he is swinging. He looks down at the Sinister Six. He smells the scent on Craven, and then his mask is torn, revealing his grotesque teeth. And then he proceeds to eat and dismember the Sinister Six. I was also traumatized to see the OG Spider-Man killed in that universe, which, by the way, Zombie Spider-Man was travel back in time if you were confused. And then it kind of traumatized me until I wanted to keep watching this stuff. I wanted to turn it off, but I continued to watch it, the whole video, but I decided to turn it off from there. And then I went upstairs saying to myself, my God, what the hell did I just watch? What type of Spider-Man did I saw? He was scary. He was eating people and there was blood everywhere. I've never seen anything like this. So the next day, I decided to watch Zombie Spider-Man again. Only this time I watched it in front of the computer desk at the time. And I read this another comic book where Spider-Man transfers into a zombie. You actually see the transformation happen. You can see in this picture he's vomiting in his mask, which I didn't know what that was at the time. I'm guessing he's puking out his insides during the zombie transformation. Then Mary Jane runs over and asks if he's okay, and then he turns around menacingly with his menacing, almost angrier grin on his face, and then she grabs his mask, tears it, revealing his skeletal zombified teeth, and it looks scary. Until Aunt May walks in asking Peter what did he do to her. And then as soon as it cuts to Zombie Spider-Man, this picture right here scared me. I don't know what it is. The grotesque teeth, the way that the eyes are on the mask, combine the two of those, that just looks downright scary in my opinion, at least around that time. With the blood dripping down his chin. And that's the last time I've seen a Zombie Spider-Man. I'm like, okay, I'm done. No more, I'm done. But until I decided to go even further into the internet to see more videos about Zombie Spider-Man. Now this time was different. I came across a movie titled Marvel Zombies the Movie. I didn't know what fan films were around that time, but it said Marvel Zombies the Movie, and I decided to check it out. And I I was basically risking my fear because you can see Zombie Spider-Man on the thumbnail looking menacing, even though he's obscured by shadow. Now this, ladies and gentlemen, is the version of Zombie Spider-Man that traumatized me when I was little. This right here traumatized me. Those comic books were scary enough, but keep in mind, comic book are 2D worlds. This is a 3D world. So this is a lot more scarier and more frightening in my opinion. This is what traumatized me. So I'm going to get into the story now and how this video in particular about Zombie Spider-Man traumatized me personally. It might not traumatize you guys, but it definitely traumatized me. And let's get to the story. And there I am, in front of the computer desk, watching Marvel Zombies the movie, unaware that it was a fan film at the time. And this car pulls up with this beautiful woman inside with red hair. Realizing it was Mary Jane, the camera cuts back to Spider-Man, hunched over against a brick wall obscured by shadows. And she gets out of the car, and she gets out, puts the car in park, gets out, closes the door, and she calls and she yells out for Peter. He doesn't respond to her. He should, because it's Mary Jane, his girlfriend or his wife. And she walks closer and closer, and I'm just watching this happen, thinking that something bad couldn't happen. She walks closer and she says, Peter, are you okay? She puts her hand on his shoulder, his left shoulder. He turns around. You see his grotesque, zombified face, the eye on his mask completely shattered and bloody. The zombified mouth features showed as it is still obscured by shadows but lit up by a light. And then Mary Jane backs up in fear, totally afraid of how Spider-Man now looks, so grotesque and zombie-like, how he unresponded, doesn't even look like himself. And as soon as he turns around and I saw his face, I immediately skipped that whole thing. And I immediately cut back to him eating her stomach, her guts, intestines. And he's eating her viciously. And as soon as he stops, puts both of his hands up, that's where I paused the video. And as soon as I did that, I turned off the computer, turned around, got up, turned around, and I ran upstairs and I hid underneath the bed, thinking I was safe. Because I'm like, oh no, Zombie Spider-Man, he's gonna get me. Zombie Spider-Man's gonna get me. I felt safe underneath the bed when it was sunny and bright outside until we ran into one little problem. The sun began to rise down. The sun went down. I'm like, oh no, how am I gonna sleep? See, I sleep in a bunk bed, right? And there was a gap behind the bunk bed to where anybody could be behind there. I would always, every time I was in bed, I would always turn around and make sure he wasn't there. Look behind me, make sure he wasn't there. Look behind me again, he wasn't there. Look behind me again, still he wasn't there. I did that for the entire night for 2 weeks. I think I even did this for 3 weeks. Because I had this fear that he was going to be there. What if he tries to devour me like he did the other people? And I thought Zombie Spider-Man was real. As I'm laying in bed, hoping to go to sleep, pretending that Zombie Spider-Man doesn't exist, I ran into one little problem. I had to go to the bathroom. Which isn't a problem of itself, you know, go in the bathroom, do your thing. The problem was the lights in my room were off, the lights in the hallway were off, the lights in the bathroom were off. I had this fear thinking if I get up and go in that hallway and turn off the light, Zombie Spider-Man would magically appear out of the darkness and consume me and turn me into buffet. And I wasn't getting my ass up going in the dark just to use the bathroom. Hell no. And the TV didn't even help. The TV was on, but it didn't do jack. It didn't do squat. So I decided to take another route. Around that time, I used to have problems urinating in bed. I couldn't really control it, considering the fact that I drank a lot when I was little. Every time it was time for me to go to bed, and I would just drink something anyway, like water, Sprite, juice, you name it. And I decided, why don't I just use a bathroom here in bed and come up with an excuse telling my mom that, oh, I drank too much again. before I went to bed. I didn't mean to do this. And Asylum Ghost, guess what I did? I purposely peed in bed. In my pajamas. Did it right there. And the next morning, when it was time for me to go to school, my mom discovered this, asking me if I peed again, and I said, yeah, I accidentally drank too much juice and water before I went to bed. I'm sorry. And she believed me, and I went in the shower. And I cannot tell you guys how excited I was to go to school. I hate going to school. I'll be honest, I hate going to school. But I was really excited to go to school because I'm around a lot of people and I didn't have fear. I wasn't even scared going in the bathroom alone at school. But eventually, when I got back home, same thing happened again. I thought zombie Spider-Man would be around the corner, around the edges of the stairs, in the bathroom, underneath the bed, behind the gap of the bunk bed. I would always look behind the gap on the back of the bunk bed and fear that zombie Spider-Man would be there. And that, Asylum Ghost, is how zombie Spider-Man always traumatized me when I was little, to the point where I didn't even want to look at Spider-Man anymore. What do you guys think of the story? Do you guys find this entertaining? Do you guys understand how this feels when you first see something when you were little and it just sticks with you and traumatizes you as it goes on? Or are you quite the opposite, to where if you first see something like that, you immediately shrug it off thinking, oh, that was pretty cool, but it's a little scary, but pretty cool? I wish I had that in me. Let me know in the comments below. Also, if you are new to this channel, please like and subscribe to this channel and click that notification for more videos coming out. Alright then, Asylum Ghosts, I will see you guys on the next video.